chicken pot pie, but a big one. Quite a few of you asked for it. So here I am, making it for you. This is our very first comment cook. Hello everyone, welcome to Comment Cook, the show where I cook your recipes. You've commented below, you've given me a recipe. I'm gonna make my interpretation of the dishes you put in the comments below. What is this show and why am I doing it? There are two reasons. Firstly, I want to expand my own cooking repertoire, my own cooking knowledge. I want to learn from you. You guys have some awesome ideas and you're all from all different parts of the world, all different walks of life. I want to try them all. Reason number two, I want to show you that you can make something absolutely delicious just from store-bought, just from grocery-bought food. A lot of these YouTube chefs that you find, they use top-end high ingredients. Like, no, we're just going, I'm going to budget section sometimes. I'm just going to get whatever I can for as cheap as I can, make it into something delicious just for you. So if you have a recipe you want me to cook, leave it in the comments below. Pot pie. It's not something we tend to do too much over here in the UK. Sure, we have pies. We have lots of kind of meat pies and all of that kind of thing, but pot pie, obviously, make your filling, you put it inside, you layer a pastry lid on top. I think we just call that pie with a pastry lid. But a couple of things. We're gonna make our filling, obviously. We're gonna do our own pastry. It's easy. Those of you who haven't made pastry before, look, make pastry, do it yourself, make it at home. It is so easy. Let's make our pastry. First up, you're gonna need some flour. 175 grams here. It's just plain flour, nothing else. Then we've got some butter. We're gonna do roughly 100 grams and you want this cold. Into your mixing bowl, you plonk the flour. All you're doing here is breaking up the butter into the flour. We just wanna make what looks like breadcrumbs. Big lumps of butter like that, we don't want those. Now you see how this has started to change color and look a little bit like breadcrumbs? That's what we want. And look at that, beautiful. We're done. Next couple of things, about a teaspoon of salt. And then you just want to slowly add some water. Once you've added a bit of water, mix it up until we get a dough. Takes a good few splashes of water, good few tablespoons. But when you're happy, you'll see this starts to come together a bit. Once it's sort of bound together in a nice way, you can remove your mixer and we're gonna get in there with our hands. We don't wanna do it too little or we're gonna have really, really flaky pastry. Once this looks good, remove our bowl. This is when you can just really work it. Now, I don't have the most amazing technique. I'm not gonna claim I do. Wrap that up in cling film, put it in the fridge. You want that cooling for at least 30 minutes or so. I've got some lovely chicken thighs here. Nothing special, these are literally just from Tesco. I think it was £3 for a kilo. I was gonna get skinless, but these ones, they do have the bone in. So I was gonna get skinless and boneless, but they just cost a lot more money. We're gonna skin and bone these ourselves. Right, so first up, we wanna take the skin off. Take it, grab it, and we just pull. Simple as that. Take your little knife and you want to find the bone. And the bone is obviously, it's sort of here. So you just start scoring. Your aim is obviously to take as little meat off this as humanly possible. Got your bone out. And then you do get some hard bits of some of the bone there. So just make sure you get rid of that. And then you got a nice chicken thigh ready here. And simply with however many chicken thighs you're gonna use, just repeat it with each of them. And there you have it, folks. If you're willing to go the extra mile and do this, like, it's gonna save you. I think the skinless and boneless in Tesco, it was about £6, whereas with the skin on and the bones in, we were literally looking at £3. Now all we want to do, chop these up into some nice chunks. Once you've chopped that all, it's just going to need a couple of things. Bit of oil, I'm using vegetable, good amount of salt, and a good amount of black pepper. And you know what, while I'm here, we'll toss in some garlic granules because why not? Give that a mix. Your hand is fine. Once everybody is nice and happy and coated, set that aside and continue with your prep. We've got an onion and we got some mushrooms. I'm not gonna show you me cutting an onion or me cutting some mushrooms because why would you need to see it? It's literally, we all know how to chop an onion, we all know how to chop mushrooms, right? I'm not gonna show you. Get your pan on, sort of a medium heat or so, bit of oil in. You're gonna put your chicken in, get it all in there. Fun fact, this is a non-stick hairy biker's pan that I've got. And I have had this for close to 10 years and it is still very much non-stick. So we just kind of want to let everyone sit and cook, bring them together a little bit, get a good bit of colour on them. And you know, we could have done this in batches, it might have made more sense. We're pretty okay, so once you're done with that, you just want to take spoonfuls of it, pop it to the side, in a bowl, saved for later. Now we're left with a nice sizzling pan of oil and chicken fat, and we're just going to get our onion to go in there. Once you're happy your onion's doing its job, make a little hole in the centre. Get your garlic, and in we press one clove and a second clove. Garlic meet onion, onion meet garlic. In pop our mushrooms, and we'll let everyone get in together, say hello, salt, nice amount of pepper. A bit of tarragon goes in a kind of pie like this. Nice block of butter. You're going to get that all seeping in here, nice and melted. Once that has all melted in, we introduce some flour. 2 spoons, mix to combine. And that, ladies and gents, is the kind of consistency we want. We need to let it cook for about a minute or so, just to cook the flour off. I could have made chicken stock from those bones, but this is just a chicken stock cube. I've already been fancy and I've made some pastry. What more do you want from me? I'm not going to make my own stock as well, not for this time. So just put a little bit in and then we want to stir it together. And we want a nice, rich, thick sauce coming out of that, which you just gradually add until you get the consistency that you want. We can add our chicken, which has a load of extra chicken juice in. So pop that all in, give it a good stir, and once it's thickened up, once we're happy, we'll be done. Remember this guy? He remembers you. We've been chilling for quite a good amount of time now. So we're just gonna roll it out. So I'm gonna confess, I'm aware pot pie are meant to be in little individual pots for the pie, right? I don't have any of those. We have our pie dish, we have our pie filling, and it's as simple as pie filling goes in pie dish. And we want this nice and full, so we'll probably use all of it. I'm gonna make sure I get all of the filling, but I am gonna leave a little bit of the sauce because it's already a very saucy pie. Let's take our pastry and we're simply just going to pop it over the top. So you can just kind of build on it there a little bit, just in the areas that it needs. This is one heck of a pie. Score a couple of holes in it. And get yourself a fork and you want to crimp all around the edges. Egg wash, tiny bit of milk, tiny bit of, well, an egg. Now that that's done, say goodbye. In 20 minutes at 180 Celsius, and then that will be ready. Look, now that is a thing of beauty. But it's all about the taste at the end of the day. You hear that though? That is a nice sounding crust. It's crispy, it hasn't stuck. So let's cut ourselves a little slice. Look at the steam coming off that. I think this is inspired. I think this was a really good shout. Our pastry looks really, really crispy and flaky. I think let's try some of that first. It is homemade after all. Just a little bite of pastry. Oh, that is flaky. That is nice and short. We've done a good job here. Let's try a little bit of the filling. We get a little bit of mushroom on there. The tarragon really comes through. Using the tarragon was a shout. The sauce, it's creamy, it's rich, it's buttery, it's velvety, it's chickeny. Right, we've got to bite with our pastry on now. I'm happy. What can I say? I am happy. What an idea. What a way to kick off this series. Honestly, this has been great. Leave a comment below. Give me one of your household favorite family recipes. Maybe I'll cook it next week. Otherwise, be sure to subscribe and I'll see you on Friday.